Now what do we have over here? This has really caught my eye when we came into the room.
Well, this year is very exciting for us because this is the year that we are taking so much of what has been developed over the last 4 or 5 years for the cost no object statement products and making the essential elements of them available very broadly through the product line. The statement equipment is somewhat analogous to a Formula One racing program for a car company, but at the end of the day, the thing we want to do is to make a really great sports sedan for the street that many people can enjoy.
I love it.
And this is perhaps one of the best examples of that. This is a new model called the Phi 170 power amplifier. It contains the patented Vac Iq Circuit, which are in the 200 you just heard, as well as in the big statement 450 IQ amplifiers, and provides it in an amplifier which will perform 85 watts per channel in stereo or 170 watts in mono. It has configuration switches on it which allow the unit to be set for either a dedicated balance circuit or a dedicated single-ended input circuit.
Oh, look at that right there.
And up front you see the same display treatment you saw on the bigger amplifiers, where there are 4 bicolor LEDs countersunk in that chrome-plated piece. When one comes on green, it says, this tube has begun to be weak. I will make the very best of it I can until you replace it when you can. And if it goes red, that means the amplifier had an actual fault inside the tube that needs to be replaced. The interesting thing is sometimes tubes have a phenomenon referred to in the industry as a Lynch short. They'll have an internal short. They would, in a lesser amplifier, blow the fuse, or in our case, just trigger the protection circuit. Lynch shorts sometimes clear themselves, kind of like clearing your throat. So without risking any damage to the amplifier, you can just turn it off, turn it back on again, and see if it happens again or not. You can do that 50 or 100 times. The IQ circuit will not let you damage the amp with that bad tube, if there is actually a bad tube.
How about that?
So you have great abilities to say, well, can I go on anyway, or do I really have to replace that tube now? And sometimes tubes have a mechanical variability in them, so maybe it shorts out, but then again it won't do it again for 5 more hours. If you have guests over, maybe it'll work for those 5 hours.
It's just like they have a life of their own.
Anyway, it should be replaced ultimately, but
yes.
The point is self-diagnosing and you can't hurt the amp.
The Phi 170.
170 IQ, and there's the giant poster of it.
There it is.
And the first of our attempt to explain to people what the IQ circuit really does. When you look at the gold standard for amplifiers previously were fixed bias amplifiers. And you would think that would be the best you can do, but there are 2 things where it's inferior to the IQ. Number 1, even with your best eye and best meter, you can't really get all the tubes at exactly the same level. There's some setting error or precision that is endemic in the systems. And secondly is the tubes then may have a little bit of random drift. Your power line may drift. And the second major factor is as music goes through its peaks and dips, the bias current in the tube will actually vary, because as you play louder, the tube heats up a bit inside. As the tube heats up inside, it wants to conduct more quiescent current. And so you really have a varying baseline even with a fixed bias amplifier. As that baseline varies, the exact match point to the output load, the speakers, varies. It's just not as stable as you would want ideally. Whereas the IQ system keeps everything stable to less than 1% variation all the time. In cathode bias amplifiers and other brands of auto bias amplifiers, they tend to move the amplifier more toward class B the more loudly you play. So while you might not need a screwdriver, in that sense it's like our circuit, it doesn't hold things rock steady like our circuit. It actually varies quite a bit. Again, load line shift, nothing minimizes noise, distortion, improves sound quality the way the IQ circuit can. It's not just auto bias, it's intelligent auto bias.
Oh my goodness.
The other breakthroughs for the year, the other contributions, are the new Renaissance Mark V series preamplifiers. These are pre-production pieces, so there's some cosmetic things still being
worked out. Yeah.
Silk screening and so forth. This particular unit is the Renaissance phonostage. It has a 6-tube phonostage, which is inspired by the statement phonostage. 68 dB of coil, or 44 moving magnet. 3 inputs, which is there are some folks with 4 tone arms, but 3 is the most you typically see on a vinyl intensive system. Variable loading for the moving coil, variable loading for the moving magnet, external power supply, all power switching there. No AC power ever hits this chassis, only DC.
How about that?
And you can really feel the Statement Series DNA when you listen to this piece. We never talk price specifics in these videos, but for the people who think, oh, VAC is great stuff, but I can't afford it, you should check into this and maybe think again.
There you go.
Then we have the Renaissance Mark V line stage. Also 3 inputs, fully balanced, zero feedback, differential circuitry, remote control, and you can get an optional 3-tube phonostage on this as well if you wish. Power supply is dual mono for the high voltage, which really helps with the imaging and the sound staging.
Okay.
And those are our 4 products for the year: the Signature 200 IQ, the 5170 IQ, the Renaissance Phonostage, and the Renaissance Mark V line stage.
Well, let me shake your hand for being one of the best designers in the industry we have today.
We're not perfect, but we try hard.
You do a great job. Kevin Hayes from VAC.
Peter, thank you kindly.
Before we leave the room today, can you show us what we have over here?
Yes, this is our smaller system, and we are privileged to have one of the earliest appearances of the Focal Soper 2s, which are really outstanding new speakers. They've made some nice new technology breakthroughs, and they really are quite something. Being driven by the VAC Sigma 160i integrated amplifier, which has its internal phonostage, of course, which is being fed by a transrotor fat bob.
Okay.
And one of their arms, and I apologize for not remembering which cartridge is on there. There was
That's
some
quite
changing out
okay.
early on. And also a wonderful esoteric K07 player. A really engaging, enchanting system.
Wow, it looks just stunning. I love the finish of the Focals too. You can't see, but I'm going to try to get you up to it. It's a blue. There it is. Oh, look, beautiful.
Here's their color chart. The blue apparently is going to be one of their standard options this year, I'm told.
How about that?
It's not box shaped, so you can think out of the box on color too.
I like that too. Bless you, Kevin Hayes.
Take care, Peter. See you again soon.
See you soon. Have a great, great show.
Yep, and have a great 2016. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you.